Yeah, let's see how this thing, whoa! Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 Acura MDX. Looks like a Type S, but isn't a Type S, aka the A-Spec package. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Jody Wilkinson Acura here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this MDX. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Rachel. And if you don't know, the Jody Wilkinson Acura here in Salt Lake City does not charge any sort of markups over MSRP whatsoever, including on Type S's. So yeah, if you want a great deal on a new Acura, definitely reach out to them. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town, and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 290 horsepower and then 267 pound-feet of torque. Before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see really distinctive body lines, and I love this blue paint. And then coming down below, you guys can see there with the daytime running lights and the LED headlamps, looks pretty crazy. Notice the grille is darker in coloration, and then you got the giant Acura logo. Parking sensors here on the front end. We do have fog lights there at the bottom, and then it's also dark there at the very bottom. And then when you put it all together, you can see that it has a really cool sporty appearance. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 255, 50, 20 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you can see for the coloration, it's this metallic gray, which looks really good. Got these fender flares right here. Notice we got our A-Spec badge. Mirror is blacked out, and then we've got some more blacked out trim here at the bottom. And then when you put it all together, all of the blacked out trim with metallic gray, I think it looks really good. So here's a key fob for this MDX. You guys can see we've got the Acura logo there on the back and then also on the side, and pretty simplistic. We have our unlock function, our lock function, and then press that, and it'll open up the hatch. Now we do have the third row folded down here. Notice A-Spec there with the covering, and we also have this for a little power outlet in the back. Now if you're wanting the third row, ends like roughly right around that area, and so you still have a decent amount of storage space behind the third row itself. And then when you're all done, you can just press that button right there, and that will lower the hatch right back down. Really cool LED taillights here in the rear, and then you guys can see with like MDX badge, A-Spec badge as well, and then you got the Acura badge. Pretty normal stuff. But down below, look at the covers over the exhaust tips. Pretty aggressive. And then we also do have parking sensors here on the rear. And again, when you put it all together, I do think that the new MDX looks really good. Notice the keyless entry. And yes, this is where things start popping. So you guys can see we've got our sunshade here for the rear, and then look at the red leather here with the contrasted black stitching, and then that trim right there, that is so cool. We got a window control right here with the door handle, and then decent storage space on the door panel. And then we have the two-tone seats here, you guys can see with like the black piping, and then notice the inserts all down the center. And yeah, the color combination with this, the blue and the red, I'm a big fan. Legroom here in the back is solid, and then you guys can see we've got a little storage pocket here, and then we have our climate controls for the rear passengers, and then we've got a bunch of little charging ports down below, and we got like the world's biggest cup holder armrest ever. It's also kind of like a center console for the rear passengers. This does also fold up to be a seat. And then if you're wondering, headroom is also really good. I'm going to quickly press this button right here, and it's going to just move the seat forward. So you guys can see with the third row, it also has the cool red leather. But the biggest thing you need to know is you can fit adults back there, but I typically recommend with this segment of crossover to just reserve it for kids usually, because adults will fit, but a little bit more on the cramped side. It's not an MDX thing. It's just, again, crossovers in this segment. Keyless entry yet again. And then here's the front door panel. Again, look at the red leather with the contrasted black stitching, and then one of the speakers here for the ELS sound system. All of our window controls right here with our mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in. We got memory seat functionality. Just a quick look at the mirrors. And then you guys can see down below with the opening for the hatch. And then we've got this black piping here on the seats, and again, look at the inserts, and then it's perforated there on the sides, which is really cool. I love the seat design. And then we do have our power adjustments on the side. Pretty fancy looking pedals just down below. We've got our A-Spec badge right there. And then you guys can see here for the safety tech stability control, and that is for the parking sensors. So here is our steering wheel. We've got really nice leather here at the top and at the bottom, and you guys can see with the red contrast stitching A-Spec logo. And yeah, I love how we've got this like golf ball texture here on these sides and get a slightly better grip. Really cool paddles there on the back for the 10-speed automatic. We do have adaptive cruise control as well as steering assist. And then you guys can see the controls here on the other side, volume controls, all that. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock. Full digital gauge cluster here in the center, and we can scroll through some different menus there on the side to see different bits of info on the vehicle. Gonna leave it to the all-wheel drive setup. And with the drive modes, we got cool animations and it makes a cool sound. But I love how the gauge cluster changes with each of the drive modes. I definitely think that's a fun party trick. And the drive modes also do pop up here, and you get another cool animation, which is fun. And then obviously I can go into individual too, so yeah. Good job, Acura. We do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Resolution's pretty good. If you get the advanced package, that actually comes with the 360 camera system, but this one obviously just has the A-Spec. Now as for the infotainment system, it's actually not a touchscreen. It's all controlled via a little like keypad situation. It does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And what I will say is it's pretty easy to use, frankly. Once you get used to it, keypad system's great. We got this cool black leather here with the red contrasted stitching all over the dash, which looks fantastic. And then look at the trim down below it, and then also the black trim. Lots of colors, but it really works. So I've got our climate controls here. Again, dual zone for the front, you got the single zone for the rear, and then that's our fancy drive mode select. Heated and cooled seats, and yes, it does have auto seats as well as an automatic climate control system, so it'll do everything for you. And then we have our transmission select system here, a bunch of buttons, and got a little charging port action there, your brake hold, and then your auto stop start if you want to turn that on or off. And then you can see our wrist rest here. So this is that little keypad to control the infotainment system. Like I said, pretty easy once you get used to it. Volume control right next to it, and that's for the basically channel change with the radio, which is really cool that it's right next to it. Some storage space there, a couple cup holders, wireless phone charging pad. And long and behold, we have a center console here with some USBs and a 12 volt and some nice leather trim here with the black stitching. Yeah, look at that red leather that just continues down below, and then you can see here with the glove box lined with felt, tons of storage space, and then I like the handle in the front. Now up top we do have our controls here for the sunroof, and then also sunglass holder, and yes, panoramic sunroof here. So here's our window sticker. Like I said, this is an A-Spec package. It also has the tech package as well, if you are an Acura package snob and want to know everything that it has. Anyways, $59,950 is the base MSRP. Now this is a $500 paint job, and then you got destination and everything. $61,645 is the total MSRP on this. So with that being said, let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear, and buttons. Let's set off. Okay, so setting off here in this regular MDX, I suppose is what we will call it. First off, seat comfort's really good. That's something I've noticed with Acuras across the board, is just they all have really comfortable seats. So I think that is just a big positive overall. Ride quality is also good as well. Yeah, it's a nice comfy car, that is for sure. I love the steering wheel too. It's got like nice finger grips here, and so just, yeah, it's like nice in your hands. Again, that golf ball texture, I think that's also something that I really appreciate as well. Decent throttle response and everything, just like kind of getting up and moving. I'm actually going to pop it into the sport mode, and I'll pop it into the S mode with the transmission, so it'll get more aggressive with everything. Man, this whole new system here in Salt Lake's interesting. They're building out the sidewalks and shrinking the roads. Oh wow, that 10-speed's very responsive. This feels so much different than a Honda with the 3.5 V6, because they usually pair that with like a 9-speed. This is very interesting, that is for sure. Yeah, these 2-lane roads are definitely not going to cause traffic jams here in Salt Lake. That's not going to happen, that's for sure. Sorry, I gotta make complaints when I can. But yeah, let's see how this thing Whoa! This transmission really elevates this, and you know, I don't know if there's audio being piped in. Let me know in the comment section below, but it sounds pretty dang good. This is way better than I expected. Wow. So I'll put it back into normal mode, and then we'll take it out of the sport shift. Wow, that's impressive. I thought I wasn't gonna like this because I literally just drove a Type S before this, and so I'm like, oh no. I drove them in the wrong order. Now I'm gonna drive the regular MDX, and I'm gonna be like, this is too slow. It doesn't sound as good, this and that. But I actually really like this. They, Acura did a really good job with this. So, I guess to sum things up, it's quicker than I expected it to be, frankly. And again, I just drove a Type S before this, so like, I feel like that should say something about how quick this feels, right? And then, you know, seat comfort, like I said, that's amazing. It's just a really solid vehicle overall. I feel like they did a good job with everything on this package. And I guess that me at the beginning saying that this is a not a Type S, but looks like a Type S, I feel like that's pretty accurate. Looks like this is funny. I've been filming for like a couple hours here now. That Ultima's still there. They haven't been able to tow it out. Okay, so I guess like fully bringing everything together. If you've got the money for the Type S, yes, it's fun, yes, it's fast. But if this is what fits in your budget, this to like the regular person looks pretty much just like a Type S. And on top of pretty much looking like a Type S, it still performs really well. It's solid. So I really like this new A-Spec package, and I understand why it's so popular, because it looks great, it still performs really well, and it sounds good. I don't care if it's piped in or not, it sounds good. And so let me know what you guys think. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this MDX. Again, a huge shout out and thanks to the Jody Wilkinson Acura here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this MDX. Check out the intro in the description down below, and I'll see ya.